The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, placed significant reparations demands on Germany. Germany experienced widespread resentment and economic hardship due to the treaty's conditions. Territorial losses imposed by the Treaty of Versailles contributed to Germany's instability. Hyperinflation in Germany during the 1920s devastated the middle class. The economic crisis fostered an environment of instability and desperation. The rapid devaluation of currency led to widespread economic hardship. The Weimar Republic faced political extremism from both the left and the right. Political extremism undermined the Weimar Republic's legitimacy and stability. The Weimar Republic, established after WWI, struggled with internal political conflict. Benito Mussolini's ascent to power in Italy leveraged post-war disillusionment. Fascism promised national revival through authoritarian means. Mussolini exploited nationalistic feelings to seize control. Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party rose to power in Germany during the 1930s. The Nazi Party exploited economic grievances to gain popular support. National humiliation was also used by the Nazi Party to consolidate power. The redrawing of national borders in Eastern Europe during the 1920s led to the creation of new states. These territorial changes also resulted in ethnic tensions and irredentist claims. The combination of new borders and ethnic disputes fueled regional instability in Eastern Europe. The League of Nations was established in the 1920s with the aim of preventing future wars. The League of Nations lacked sufficient enforcement power to effectively prevent conflicts. The absence of key nations, such as the United States, undermined the League's authority and influence. Japan's invasion of Manchuria in 1931 highlighted a critical failure in international peacekeeping efforts. The invasion exposed the League of Nations' inability to effectively enforce international law. This event demonstrated the League of Nations' failure to maintain global peace in the face of aggressive expansionism. The appeasement policy of Britain and France emboldened Hitler's aggressive actions in the 1930s. Appeasement allowed Germany to rearm, violating the Treaty of Versailles. The policy of appeasement facilitated Germany's territorial expansion before World War II. The remilitarization of the Rhineland by Hitler violated the Treaty of Versailles. This action signaled Hitler's intention to challenge the post-war order established after World War I. The remilitarization marked a significant turning point, escalating tensions and undermining international agreements. The Anschluss refers to the annexation of Austria by Germany in 1938. The annexation of Austria expanded Germany's territory. The event demonstrated the failure of collective security measures at the time. The Sudetenland crisis involved the proposed annexation of Czechoslovakia by Nazi Germany in 1938. The Munich Agreement demonstrated Britain and France's willingness to appease Hitler to prevent war. Czechoslovakia was sacrificed by Britain and France in an attempt to avoid a larger conflict. Germany's invasion of Poland in 1939 initiated World War II. The invasion demonstrated the failure of the post-World War I peace settlement. The invasion of Poland marked a critical turning point in global history. Trade barriers intensified economic tensions between nations in 1930s Europe. Economic nationalism amplified the global economic crisis during this period. These factors contributed significantly to the overall instability of the European economy. State-sponsored propaganda in the 1930s, Europe employed aggressive nationalism. Propaganda demonized foreign nations, fostering hostility and division. The manipulation of public opinion through propaganda prepared populations for war. The arms race among European powers fostered an environment of fear and distrust. This atmosphere of fear and distrust significantly increased the likelihood of conflict. Military buildup created a self-reinforcing cycle of escalating tensions and perceived threats. International disarmament conferences in the 1930s aimed to reduce global military arsenals. National self-interest and pervasive mistrust undermined the disarmament efforts. The failure of disarmament contributed to escalating international tensions. In the 1930s, colonial populations in Asia and Africa experienced growing discontent under European rule. This discontent contributed to widespread instability and laid the groundwork for future conflicts. European colonial rule faced increasing resistance due to growing dissatisfaction among local populations. The Great Depression intensified existing economic and social hardships across the globe. Economic downturns and social inequalities during the Depression fostered an environment conducive to extremism. The global crisis of the Great Depression contributed to the rise of international conflicts. The burden of reparations payments imposed on Germany in the 1930s fostered widespread resentment. Economic strain from reparations contributed to the rise of extremist political movements. Reparations payments fueled social instability and political upheaval in Germany. The rise of militarism in Japan during the 1930s fueled aggressive expansionist policies. Japanese militarism significantly increased regional tensions in Asia. Expansionist policies were a direct consequence of Japan's growing militaristic ideology. The Spanish Civil War, 1936–1939, acted as a proving ground for emerging military technologies. The conflict became a stage for competing political ideologies, presaging future global tensions. The Spanish Civil War foreshadowed the larger global conflict of World War II. The rise of anti-Semitism in Europe during the 1930s resulted in widespread persecution of Jewish populations. Germany's anti-Semitic policies led to systematic discrimination and the stripping of rights from Jewish citizens. The culmination of anti-Semitism contributed significantly to the Holocaust. The intricate network of alliances among European powers fostered a precarious geopolitical environment in the 1930s. Complex rivalries between nations contributed significantly to the instability of the European geopolitical landscape. Geopolitical tensions in Europe during the 1930s were a result of interwoven alliances and deep-seated national rivalries. Unresolved issues from World War I laid the groundwork for future global conflicts. The unintended consequences of WWI contributed to the conditions that enabled World War II. World War II emerged as a more devastating global conflict due to the failures of post-WWI settlements.